pleasure to introduce Sherine Gilmore. Sherine Elise Gilmore graduated with an MFA in poetry from New York University. She was recently nominated for a Pushcart Prize, and her poems have appeared or are forthcoming from the American Journal of Poetry, Mom Egg Review, Oxford University Press, River Styx, So to Speak, Tinderbox, and other publications. Sherine Gilmore.
I'm going to begin with one set in Connecticut. In the house, brown recluse spiders that bite and infest, a hornet's nest buzzing in the wall, Bartonella and fleas traveling on mice, and even the Terminex guy who walks in without ringing the bell keeps repeating, "You know, I live alone in the house where my mom died. Hey, where's your husband? Where's your kids?" The thin frill of hair on your arms electrifies, and you watch him stomp down into the basement to kill the smallest of the small, then stomp back up to tell you metal mouse traps work best to snap their necks. He tries to strike up conversation. You are looking at his feet, how he is wearing boots, you are barefoot. About interior design, paint color, floor tiles. You look outside and wonder if you could make it to a neighbor running across the ruined vines and crags of limestone. Blue jay heads broken off their necks scatter your lawn. Vultures pivot overhead, acres and acres of quiet land. And while the Terminex guy keeps talking, he hasn't left yet. Wandering through your kitchen, dining room, den, you didn't expect to hear your mother's voice from 1982, telling you how police stood by as her friend's head was thrown against a wall by her husband because they were county police, not local police jurisdiction. And they would only intervene if her friend clearly told them she did not consent, and how you learned the word consent, and your mother cleaned the blood from her friend's wall. And now you are full of questions. When did the police finally stop him? How long did it take? Then what has happened before in these rooms, on your floors? Can you crawl under the back porch with the other small prey? Finally, the door clangs shut, a beautiful gong. What do I do now? You ask the trees in your yard, who have surely witnessed hundreds of years of violence themselves. Hunger. My hunger was only a mild suffering, a tiny bite in the belly, rumbling like a marching band far away. The kitchen window iced with glaze, the linoleum floor cool under my feet. Days passed, weeks. My mother slept late in her bedroom. I knew not to wake her. I had already eaten the easiest things, cereal, milk, gnawed the carrot's pale brown shoots, plucked the bread's blued edges off, and ate the slightly fermented centers. I'd sunk my teeth into the stubborn hearts of potatoes, the least generous of all the vegetables. I circled the kitchen in my pajamas. What was left? The refrigerator shelves, ponds of liquid rot and browned decay, slush of saliva in my mouth. I was proud of pushing my little stool across the floor, so quiet, so hushed. I was proud for climbing onto the countertop, the knee, the other knee, the foot, then suddenly that dizzying height, for the swoon, for the swoosh, the edge almost turned bird. I knew what to do, I told myself. I was even proud of my hunger. If not, then years in the future, I would become proud of that child. The way I didn't let hunger rule me. The power of saying, I will do this, then doing it. There, in a cabinet, a bag of flour. My tongue worked, the rough swallow, the white, dried out sweetness. Oh, food, strange food. See how I could persevere. See how I didn't need anyone, although still I wished for my mother's croon. Big girl, what a big girl you are. In went spoon after spoon, until I saw the wiggling in the powder. Alone in that moment, I did not know what to do. The slow, churning sunlight seeped into that room. This is the last one, set back in Connecticut. Death wishes while walking the dog. I walk in circles around my neighborhood, and I hate that I walk in circles. My boots are crap, my hair untidy. I hate the clear blue sky, the magnificent trees mottled with moss, and how I can have all these things, but still feel unhappy. I remember in my early 20s, a man I was dating grabbed me by my neck, his nails cut through my shirt, while tiny snowflakes fell into my eyes and mouth. I had to decide, kick him as hard as I could, or kick him just enough to get away. You see, I was frightened of hurting another person, that if I shattered his jawbone, the vibrations would travel into my body and ring in my ears for years to come. The dog and I, it's not like we have a formal list per se. It's not like we've named names, but we know. Strangers on the street, bosses, husbands, men who say they are feminist, districts of voters, maybe even some of my neighbors. I read the paper. I know how people perceive this body, a woman's body, and my dog, she's a smart old girl. The other day someone joked, the world would be a better place if all the politicians in DC died. Then I said, that's not enough. I walk around this cul-de-sac. Neighbors pull in and out of driveways, on their way out to dinner or back from a party. Perhaps it's just me who wants a reason to land my hand in someone's face. Their bones give way like birthday cake. But more than that, elbows, hair pulling, slash and burn the human race. I trudge around these beaches and maples. Anger has to go somewhere. My dog sniffs wet acorns, buries her nose in the snow, and snaps. I hate the mole's pitiful squeal, and I hate my dog's crude teeth, and I love her teeth, and I hate that I love her teeth, gnashing and bitter, and I hate that I cannot decide whether to pull her away. We're going to take a very brief break so that people will have time to get some iced beverages. And then we're going to return for Sean and Leslie, which will be wonderful.